Okay, our regular weekly updates about AI. There are a lot of news, a lot of interesting stuff. So main topic, of course, is discussing the OpenAI O1 family of models, which go from memorize the answers to memorize the reasoning, or from learning the answers to learning the reasoning. And this is a big change from just chatting models to reasoning models. Of course, this is the first success, but in a year or two, probably it will work really, really well. And people talk about second wave of generative AI or system to thinking, and I'll talk about it later in the slides. So OpenAI O1 models, mini, preview, and regular. Well, regular is not released yet, so we only have access to mini and preview. The input is 128 kilotokens. The output for O1 preview is 32 kilotokens, but 25 kilotokens out of that goes to internal usage, reasoning, which you don't see, it doesn't show. So what's left, 32 minus 25 is only 7 kilotokens of the output. So just be aware of that. O-mini has a bigger output up to 65K, so minus 25K, you'll get what, 40K tokens output. This is an interesting link. OpenAI passes IQ of 120. So this is the IQ distribution, and this is O1 preview. It's right here at 120. This is a college level thinking. So here we have other models. So this is Gemini, this is Anthropic Claude, this is other OpenAI models, and so on. Okay, the prices and accessibility. O1 Mini, if you're a Plus subscriber, like I'm a Plus subscriber, so what this means that I can go and select GPT-4, and this is my interface, and here I can select the model, for example, O1 Preview, O1 Mini, and then ask questions. So as Plus subscriber, I have 50 messages per day for Mini and 50 messages a week for preview. So not many questions I can ask. Now, there are people who spend thousands of dollars per month, and this is called tier 5, and these people can use API. I cannot use API. But those people who are already spending a lot of money, they can have 250 requests per minute for Mini and 100 requests per minute on O1 preview. So this is great. API cost, so this is Mini, Preview, and GPT-4o. So you see that Preview is quite costly, but we've seen these prices before, both for GPT-4 and for Anthropic, and then they went down in a matter of few months. So probably the same will happen here. So the main model, the regular model, OpenAI still haven't announced the release date. We'll hope maybe it will happen next month. So reinforcement learning. They use reinforcement learning to reward model for generating desired reasoning steps for their alignment with human values. They use what's called reasoning tokens. We'll talk about it in next slides. And the charges for hidden tokens, even though they are invisible for users. Right, this I already told you. Okay, hold on a second. Oh gosh. Good. Step-by-step reasoning is slow but delivers superior results, low hallucinations, more resistance to jailbreaking attempts. OpenAI O1 dominates Leaderboard. So this is preview and this is mini. So you see the champions, and also this is battle count, and they're on the top spots. Cognition Devon, which is a very famous startup, they started using it, and they significantly improved the code generation ability. So this is their blog, which talks about it. I was really impressed by this. So I'm a subscriber to newsletter, which is called AI News. So I received it in email, and if you see this small scroll bar here, so you can scroll it. It's very, very lengthy. It's a daily newsletter with a lot of information, and the news are like a short paragraphs with links. So lots of information. You see, they go into like 433 Twitters and Discords, 221 channels, 1500 messages, and so on. A lot of stuff. And I suspected that they were using LLMs, and actually it's true, they were. And they tried OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and they even tried Llama 3, but it didn't perform well. But now with O1 preview, so here's what they write in their newsletter. We humans at Smol.AI have been dreading this day. For the first time ever, an LLM has been able to 100% match and accurately report what we consider to be the top stories of the day without our intervention. So this is great. This is a good company. So it's called Smol.AI. I recommend you to check them out and to subscribe. It's high quality information. Okay, OpenAI O1 results on ARC-AGI-Pub. So what is ARC? Advanced reasoning and comprehension for artificial general intelligence, ARC-AGI. Who created it? Well, François Hollet, who is a very famous person, and he's now at Google, I believe, and he created what's called the front end for TensorFlow. Escapes me. Kerberos? No, forgot. Anyway, look at these tests. So these are examples.
He created
Keras, right. So you see these shapes, and then they go to this to this, and then question mark. You have to fill this. Like if you look closer, you see these three cubes, and you fill with the yellow color, right? Same here. So you understand that you just copy those and fill. Here, white goes down, so you take this and white goes down. Here, you can see that this is rotated 180 degrees as compared to this. And same here, so you can rotate this. So model has to figure out these tasks and give the right answers. And you see this O1 preview, 21%. And so it's on the same level as Sonnet. So out of regular models, they're champions. So you see O1 Mini, GPT-4o, Gemini, 1.5 is even less. The idea of this test is to give something which it absolutely wasn't trained on and which requires logic to find the answer. Yeah, here is another example. And if you see closely, what you need to do, you need to draw a yellow pixel inside the closed spaces. So here, for example, you have this rectangle and you put yellow in it. So for a human, it's easy to solve, but for computers, it's difficult. And by the way, if you go to the GitHub and you look at the data, which is presented like this, you see it's basically bitmaps, right? So that's that's what you actually feed to large language model. You feed bitmap. Okay. So here you have a description of the price, like how they do the competition. At inference time, OpenAI says they're using reinforcement learning to enable O1 to hone its chain of thought and refine strategies it uses. We can speculate the reward signal here is some kind of actor plus critic system similar to OpenAI previously published. By the way, reward signals in reinforcement learning were likely achieved using verification for simple math, for formal domains, and human labeling over informal domains. Okay, so this is interesting. Next, I highly recommend this interview. So Sam Altman gave a 15-minute interview at this event. The whole event is 4 hours, but this link gives specific timestamp. And he talks about O1 and he talks about the future. So he defines 5 levels. Level 1 chat is achieved. Level 2 reasoning, we're just starting with it. And he said that in reasoning, we're kind of on GPT-2 stage and we will progress to a GPT-4 equivalent. After that, there will be autonomous AI, which is agents, autonomous agents. Then agents which can innovate, not only execute certain functionality, but actually make it better and eventually organize things. So you're talking about AI running entire organization. And if you put like 1 year for each of these steps, then we'll probably be here in 3 years. So this is, I guess, exciting future, or maybe dreading future. I don't know. Okay, Don Lim from Korea published a very good article, Reasoning Tokens and Techniques Used in System 2 LLMs. I highly recommend to read it. It provides a lot of links. It starts with describing the book, Thinking Fast and Slow. This is the cover of the book. It's old book, 2011. Here I provide a link for YouTube video, which gives a very good animated summary of the book in about 10 minutes. And he talks about system 1 thinking, which is immediate response, and system 2 thinking as a delayed response from a well thought out process. He break down complex tasks into smaller steps, chain of thought, and chain of thought enabled LLMs. So these are just the topics we want to discuss. Chain of thought as a term was introduced in 2 years ago, 2022, in a paper, Chain of Thought Prompting, Elicits Reasoning in Large Language Models. And here are some more good papers to look at. For example, this one talks about planning tokens, and this picture is from this article. So you see how when you train the model to answer questions, you train it to create tokens, which looks like HTML tags, and tags and tokens to go through the thinking process. So you train it how to do it. What's interesting that this scandal which we had with Reflection 70B model, which was about 10 days ago, and we still don't know the answer. But what they tried to do, they actually tried to do exactly the same thing. It just that it looks like they didn't succeed at it, but OpenAI did much better job, right? So reinforcement learning from human feedback. OpenAI O1 models use reasoning tokens, planning tokens, self-reasoning tokens. Filippo Bonetto is a well-known author. He focuses on integrating self-reasoning tokens within model for better manage. And here are some links to check out. Okay, self-reasoning tokens example. So for example, the prompt was, what is the capital of France? Possible internal reasoning tokens. So first, the model does, it creates a token to retrieve knowledge, capital of France, and then it executes it. Then it gets the answer, so it gets the answer found, Paris, and then constructs the response. So you see step-by-step processing, and finally it outputs to the user, and this is the only thing that user can see. So this is all hidden, but when you're using O1 model, you're paying for this, right? Okay, some other news. AI will affect 43 million jobs in the USA and 16 million jobs in Mexico in just 1 year. So AI is coming. Google DeepMind robot ties its shoes. So this is the picture. A data stack, open source framework, easily built real-time web apps, internal tools, dashboards, weekend projects, data entry, prototypes, using just Python. Very nice. This is the GitHub for it. Fei-Fei Li, World Lab. So she's a very famous person. She was a Stanford professor, then worked at Google, and then now she started her own company, which already valued at $1 billion, or I don't know, maybe more. And she raised 230 million for developing large world models to help artists, designers, developers, and engineers interact and understand the three-dimensional world. Sam Altman leaves OpenAI board for safety and security. What's happening? They decided that this committee for safety and security should be separate. So he should not be part of it because this creates a conflict of interest. Okay, 11x AI, a startup building AI bots, just secured 24 million Series A funding. Okay, next, Salesforce Ventures. Well, they grew from $500 million to $1 billion. It's a fund for AI work. Okay, Andrej Karpathy, this is a very nice tweet where he talks that the name LLM is actually wrong because, well, yes, we use transformers to process sequence of tokens, but tokens doesn't have to represent pieces of words. They can represent image patches, audio chunks, action choices, molecules, or whatever. So if you can reduce your problem to that of modeling token streams for any arbitrary vocabulary, you can throw LLM at it. So next token prediction is the game, and yeah, this is very interesting. And also in another tweet he mentions, well, it's like a joke, that he tried asking O-Mini to solve Riemann hypothesis, and it was refusing. Like, okay, Groq, Groq manufacturing their own chips for fast inference, and well, they're really fast, and they now partnered with Saudi Arabia to build the world's largest AI inference center in Saudi Arabia to serve Middle East, Africa, and India. So this is huge. These are billions of dollars. Host 19,000 LPUs. LPUs, this is these custom chips, language processing units, by the end of 24 with potential doubling later. It's not doubling, it's, oh gosh, it's like tenfold. Okay, advantages, low energy cost, available land, proximity for 4 billion people within 100 millisecond data travel. Okay, next news. AI for cybersecurity. Well, if you want a career, this is very valuable. A multi-billion-dollar opportunity because cyber attacks now use AI, and the only way of counterattack is also to use AI. So here is the article describing this. Llama 4.5 billion parameters running locally on two computers. So this is the picture. This is a laptop and this is Mac Studio. So Mac Studio goes up to 192 gigs of memory and MacBook 128 gigs of memory. So together, working as a cluster, they managed to run 400B model, and it is slow, like 2.5 tokens per second. But still, it's amazing. It's running at on your table. Microsoft AI Copilot made a lot of updates. It's faster, it's more convenient, it's better cooperation, collaboration between users. Okay, SambaNova, we spoke about it. This is yet another chip manufacturer. They create these RDUs, which is reconfigurable data units. You use many of them in sequence and you put your model along this sequence. So different layers go into different chips and each chip has its own memory. And when you do inference, so you go through the layers of the model, it goes from chip to chip to chip. So it's completely different architecture, completely different from GPUs. It is a bit behind Cerebras. Cerebras, remember, it's a huge chip, 8.5 by 8.5 inches. So it's really, really big, like a sheet of paper. Yeah, but this is interesting technology, definitely growing, has a good future. AI dominates online content. I frankly didn't expect that. 57% of online text is now generated by AI. Well, different people give different estimates, but they're in the same ballpark. This may cause the model collapse effect, degradation of model quality when using synthetic data. Yeah, so now this concern. Klarna. Klarna is a bank in Europe, and it's a very interesting use case. So they used to have 4.2 thousand people, and they are planning to reduce headcount down to 2,000. They already fired more than 1,000 people. What they do, they substitute those people by AI. including their call center and other services. Also, they want to ditch Salesforce, Salesforce application for salespeople to use. And they also want to remove HR application called Workday, which is very popular. So on one side, Salesforce is adding AI to their services. On the other side, some people like Klarna decide it will be much cheaper for them to just ditch it completely and use their own homegrown application. Okay, DigitalOcean survey. I am a user of DigitalOcean. It's a cloud. It's very inexpensive. I highly recommend it. They did a survey, and this is the result. 73% of respondents use AI ML tools. 78% anticipate to increase their use, and about half of businesses already implemented AI ML. YouTube CEO Neil Mohan revealed that 92% of YouTube creators already using AI tools, well, in some capacity. Next is a big release from Alibaba in China. So they released the model Qwen 2.5. It's not one model, it's 13 different models. They are different sizes from 0.5 to 72 billion parameters. They are specialized models for instruct, code, whatever, different kind of math. There are different kinds of models. Context length in 128 out 8 kilotokens. They support 29 languages, and it definitely outcompetes Llama 3.1. So this is amazing. We tested the Qwen before. It was Qwen 2 about 3 months ago, and we found it to perform better than Llama and better than Mistral. So yeah, it's really good. Well, it is coming from China. Some people are suspicious about everything coming from China, but it is open source. It is on Hugging Face, so go. Oh, it is already on Llama. So if you go into Llama website, here you see Llama.com library Qwen 2.5, and here you have it. So you can download it. Try on clothes virtually on Hugging Face. So this is interesting. So this is your personal image. This is the image of, in this case, it's a t-shirt, and it generates how you will look, the result. So very easy to use. You click on the button, upload your image, click on the button, upload picture of the clothes, and this is the result. Okay, AI tool cuts unexpected deaths in hospital by 26%. This is coming from Toronto. Remember Toronto, this is where Geoffrey Hinton is coming from. This is like the mother bed of all deep learning. And yeah, so this is very interesting work. 26% reduction in unexpected deaths. It's a big number. It's a big win. 20% of English general practitioners, doctors, use AI. 30% for documentation, 28% for suggesting diagnosis, and so on. So this is the article. Apple Intelligence, AI, is now live in public beta. So these are the versions of operating systems for phone, iPad, and Mac. You can download and use it if you're okay with using beta versions. Okay, Perplexity AI. I really like Perplexity. I used it during my travel where other services were not available. And they have a plan which is called Pro, which you're paying $20 a month. And then what you can do, you can search. Well, in this case, it says, okay, install a library to get a stock market returns of DAX index over the past 20 years, then use it to make a chart, right? And here's the output, and here's the chart and explanation and the code. Let's see if I can pull it in my account. Yes, because I ran it in my account. You see, it tells you how to install this module, and this is the code, and this is the explanation. This is quite useful. Other providers, like for example, Anthropic Claude cannot do that. Anthropic can write you the code, but it will not run it. It will not show you the image. So this is quite useful. Good job, Perplexity. Okay, next is Google Illuminate. I love it. I absolutely love it. So what you do here, you go to this website and it shows you different articles which already were converted into audio. So, for example, attention is all you need, famous article from 2017 from Google. And you can source, meaning the link to the PDF, and they create a transcript, and you can play, and it will play the audio. I created one audio retrieval augmented generation for knowledge-intensive NLP tasks. This is article from several years back, from I think 2020, the first when they introduced the term RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So I uploaded, clicked the button, and about 2-3 minutes it generated the audio. I can play it, but I cannot download it, unfortunately. But this is great because I listened to the article in just a few minutes. After that, it's so much faster than read the article. I think it's a really useful service. Okay, and this guy on YouTube, so this is his channel, and you see he uploaded a lot of those. So you click on each paper, you see it, you hear the voices. There is a man and a woman, and they talk. It's like a real podcast, a discussion of the article, 4, 5, 8 minutes, depending on the article. Really great format to consume information. Very, very effective. So again, I highly recommend it. Now, our leaderboard. So on the first places, we have O1 models, preview and mini, and they're much better than next ones, which is again OpenAI, GPT-4, and then we have Groq, and then Groq is Twitter, it's Elon Musk X, and then we have Google and some others. The green circles are open source. So here we have DeepSeek version 2.5. Here we have a Meta Llama, and you see there are two versions. This is 1 byte precision, this is 2 bytes precision, and you see they're very close, which is good news. That means that you can run a model with using less memory with about the same precision. So this is for English only queries, and this is for coding. So again, O1 models are dominating, and we have DeepSeek, we have Meta Llama 3.1. Okay, next is layoffs. This month, the layoffs compared to September last year. So number of layoffs is very low this month. Oops. Amazon has mandated that its corporate employees return to the office full time, 5 days a week, starting January 25. Oh, okay. This is me. Nothing changes here, and thank you.